Janet is so right as we head into this last break of the 2022 Humans to Mars Summit. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Well, first there's an awards ceremony, which I think will be fun to watch. But then we have that last very inspirational session. And I think I know what Janet's talking about. She has a nice surprise for us from some of the young people who have been here for Humans to Mars that she works so closely with at the Janet's Planet Academy. I'm Matt Kaplan from the Planetary Society. Planetary Radio. I'll be down on stage for that last session that I talked about. So we'll be saying goodbye to you after this break from up here in the aisle, these little informal interviews that we have enjoyed doing so much. The only other thing to say is that I love that last session. I wish that the only thing that could have made it better is if Jancy and Nicole could have been here in person. And so maybe next year. I'm going to turn the microphone over now to Beth Mund, who I think you're going to talk to a couple of our, or at least one of our foodies.
Yes, you bet. Thank you, Matt. All right, come on up here, folks. What a day. I'm full. I got to eat something phenomenal. And soon in the future, we're going to figure out how you can eat it while we're eating it. It'll be all great. Come on in, Daniel. We have Dr. Daniel Tomkins and Shahreen Reza, who were on the panel just before talking all about food. And I got to, now as an analog astronaut, I know how precious and delicious food needs to be. I have never had an experience. Okay, I'm going to just be transparent. I don't like chocolate. And I loved the chocolate you gave us. So welcome, and please tell us, how did you start that idea?
Well, for me, food and space has always been a tremendous passion. But one thing that I really love is this idea that in space, humanity is all that counts. It doesn't matter what your race, religion, or ethnic identity is, and food is the one element that brings people together. And so chocolate is universally loved, and the idea of putting all your multivitamins and nootropics in a chocolate that delivers pleasure and nutrients really enticed me.
Really well said, and so delicious. How many of you are still here? Did you try it? Everyone enjoy it? It's a resounding yes, yes. Dr. Tomkins, what did you think? Did you try one?
I did not, unfortunately, but I look forward to it. Hearing that you don't like chocolate, now I have to. So, I think food in space is going to be a huge challenge. That's my challenge here on Earth, is how do you increase food production and really get the energy out of food ultimately to support a growing, hungry population. And I saw the challenge of space as premier, is you are severely resource limited. How do you not just survive, but truly thrive? So that's what brings me into the challenge.
Okay, now something you went into a little bit on the stage, but not enough, and I'm dying to ask both of you. We all resonate with food, we all relate to food, but food as a business is a whole nother level. Can either one of you talk a little bit about how this is going to work for us as we continue to be Martians, and both here on Earth and off as a business?
Fantastic. I really love that you asked this question because, in truth, companies can't make that much money off of feeding 6 people in space. So we've actually just launched on Earth. Our website is Astreas.co. And essentially what we've done is we've taken the critical components of space nutrition and brought it down to Earth, because what happens to the human body in space is an acceleration to what happens to the human body on Earth. So micronutrient deficiency impacts all of us. And the aim is people who have a high-impact life, there are professional demands on them, we're on the go, to have nutrients on the go, but also gives them tremendous pleasure is the aim. And so now you can actually buy the product here on Earth.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Amazon. I want to order it tomorrow. I asked you a little bit when we were walking the other night. I said, there's a lot of folks who are launching these satellite companies, and they want to distribute the data they gather for farmers to farmers. It's very expensive for farmers, and you walked me through how that can work really well. Can you expand?
Absolutely. So besides my space startup, GrowMars, I also work in the Earth observation, researching and consulting, and exactly that, bringing that farmer data that is actionable and that other stakeholders can view and really take an independent look at. So it's really an important thing in benchmarking our progress towards sustainability using a lot of this Earth-based observation data.
There's actually something really important I wanted to add to that. One of Daniel's concerns about chocolate is child slavery. And when it comes to farmers, oftentimes we forget when there's an international footprint, there's a lot that happens behind the scenes. So oftentimes, if you look at child slavery in the Ivory Coast, you'd be astounded by how much of it is involved when it comes to chocolates. So ourselves personally, we source our chocolates from California, from France, and we make sure that there's an ethical supply chain. But when we talk about food and farming, we often forget that sustainability is beyond the climate. It's also human sustainability and what that involves.
I'm glad to hear that. I really am. And I have a question as the last question as we have to go to break here. And thank you all so much. This is the kind of conversations we have at Explore Mars when we're on breaks and that you get to enjoy at home. You're going to want to look both of them up. So we'll share your website, of course, and your work and your bios if they haven't already. What's the one food that you would want to eat in space that's the only thing you can eat? What would it be? Chocolate, other than chocolate.
In truth, for me, it would be dumplings. I love dumplings. They're in all kinds of cultures, so a delicious carb that enrobes meat.
Lovely. And you?
As we're pioneering really large agriculture in space, people asked us, I asked my team what they would like to grow, and they said bananas. So I'm going to pick their favorite because, I work in a lot of different crops, but growing something as exotic as bananas in space just hasn't even been dreamt up yet. But with our process, it is. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and I'm going to be the conduit that ties it all together. Peanut butter with bananas and chocolate and dumplings, maybe banana dumplings. Thank you so much for joining us. That panel was phenomenal, and you're going to want to learn more about them and food long after we're done here, but we are just about to wrap up. Thank you so much for being our special guest today. Thank you for joining us online. Like Matt said, this is about it, but don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for that last panel, like Janet said, because it's going to be a wonderful summary of everything you got to see and hear and what's going to take us into the next year as we all explore Mars together as humans. So we'll see you in a little bit.